There was an entire world of wireless PS5 Pro controllers on Amazon and AliExpress that I had no idea about. All are about as authentic as the fake reviews that they have. Suspiciously cheap prices, multiple companies selling the same controller, and purposeful misspelling to avoid copyright issues. I bought one of the most reviewed models from a company called BetMe, not that it matters, they're all the same. This fucking controller is literally called Wireless Controller for PS5. It's not even called PS5 on the box, it's called P5! They just described the controller, that's the name of it. This is the level of bullshit we're getting into today. And I paid just $45 for it. And I know what you're wondering. Is it any good? Well, surprisingly, some aspects are much better than anticipated, but most of it is bullshit. So like if you like it, sub if you love it, let's do it. This is impossible. Wireless on PS5 that actually works? Not so fast. Every time you connect another controller to your PS5, you have to reconnect this one via cable for it to work wirelessly again. Aside from that, it's a decently smooth wireless experience. It's very strange, it doesn't have any like modes you could switch to, so I wasn't really able to get Bluetooth response times on PC, but I was able to get wired response times on PC, and it looks like we get 5 milliseconds from the buttons and a very inconsistent 25 to 30 milliseconds for the sticks. This thing is slow as hell, even with the 1000 Hz polling rate. At least the sticks are, and thankfully the controller has a boatload of features that save its ass. While it doesn't have adaptive triggers or a microphone, it does have an iPhone 6 headphone jack, a JBL speaker, a touchpad, and gyro. The speaker is about as good as you could expect from a controller this cheap. I'm pretty sure my first phone had a better speaker than this, but I haven't even seen this feature on high-end devices, so it definitely sets this in a class of its own. Having a touchpad and gyro means I can play most of Astro's Playroom, so this will, in my opinion, pass as a DualSense alternative. They're making me skin a monkey and take its form. This cannot be from our culture. The gyro, like most cheap controllers with gyro, shits itself over time. It drifts to the left, much like my Elite Series 2. For simple motion gameplay like Astro's Playroom, I think it works well, but anything outside of that, anything more complicated than that, probably not the best. Bad gyro is usually where these sticks come in and save the day, but these Hall Effect sticks feel like cheap RC helicopter joysticks. In games where I'm usually fluent, I am now illiterate. These sticks are ass shit. They're, again, Hall Effect, not that that will save you from getting stick drift on a controller this sketchy. They feature 70 grams of tension, which is higher than normal, but they are measly 8-bit sticks with a resolution of around 100, and tremor higher than anything I've ever seen before. The sensor noise is indescribable. And the 25 to 30 millisecond response time wired on top of that makes the entire stick situation a complete fucking train wreck. For most controllers. This is actually passable if you aren't playing things like competitive FPS games. I suppose that's probably the best part of these sticks, is that they are somewhat usable, kind of, not really, but kind of. Particularly when you look at what this device is, the sticks are meh, but not ideal. And I just don't know how to make that funny, so here's a clip to get us to our next segment. Thankfully, there are 2 rear buttons, meaning I can actually play games like Fortnite. These buttons support macros and turbos that I encourage you not to use. Don't be a pussy.
What the fuck? It smells like bitch in here.
That being said, I don't know if cheating would actually help you with this controller. There's just so much delay. Another controller with 2 rear buttons for $45 that's much better is the Cyclone 2. Better feel, better response time, better TMR sticks, and it has adjustable clicky triggers. The same feature set can be found in the EasySMX D10, which is much better than this. Hell, the Nixie Master P1 is better than this, and I haven't even told anyone I have one of those. But those are for PC and Switch. This is for PS5. Yeah, it's messy, but for $45 on PlayStation, you can't beat it. Hold the fuck on! I am not recommending this. There is one last piece of the puzzle we have to go over. This is clearly fucking illegal. Sony would never greenlight a controller that's half the price of the DualSense and has this many features. The proof is in the number of licensed PS5 Pro controllers and the very limited number of those licensed controllers, which are on average about $200. This controller would at the very least be $130 to $150 if officially licensed, and with reviews as consistent as the current economy, I think it's safe to say this is a bad purchase. Unless you have a primary controller and $45, you are completely fine with burning. Mine worked fine. It's not great, but it works fine, but it could very easily not work out for you, and getting a replacement will be next to impossible. With all that being said, this is the most interesting shit I've looked at in years. It turns the fucking PlayStation on wirelessly, and it's usable in video games for $45. That shit is wild. The rear button, the gyro, the speakers, the touchpad, those are just huge cherries on top of a very sketchy budget sundae. I'd recommend almost anything over this. There'll be links to all those other controllers I mentioned earlier. What the fuck? You stupid slut. I'd recommend almost anything over this. There will be a bunch of links in the description. But if you want one, there will also be an affiliate link for this so you can get up to your own shenanigans and you could support me at the same time. If you would like to support me directly, you can also subscribe. And I have a Patreon where I'll be live May 2nd. I'll also be live here on the channel April 25th, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're more interested in PlayStation shit, I recently looked at the entire array of PlayStation controllers, from this to custom controllers, so be sure to check that out. Let me know what you want to see next, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, PC. I know you guys are aching for that Vader 5 Pro review. It's on its way. Flytogy is sending in a new model, so we're gonna have to see how that works out. But I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.